So because this week you have a exam, or if you're listening to this after the exam, you had an exam, and next week you have another exam at PTA 101, this week's assignment is actually not going to be due until next Tuesday. I wanted to give you those a few extra days to get the to get it done. So I'm going to have it due Tuesday by 8 p.m. I know you have a big exam on Wednesday, the 20th, but I wanted to give you just that little extra time to get the assignment done. So it's not due Saturday, it's due on a Tuesday. So what are we talking about? A career track paper is essentially a paper just to say, I am interested in being an aquatic therapist, and this is why. I am interested in working with pediatrics, and this is why. So it's a way for you to just kind of put out there kind of some ideas of where you're thinking you'll practice. Now, the reality is you'll probably likely practice in perhaps an area you didn't think you would practice. Part of that's because of market forces where jobs are available and where jobs are available, meaning that there may be a pediatric position open, but it may be in Wallowa County, which is pretty far from Lane County, and it's not that close to Jackson County either. Or there may be that outpatient job in Lynn County, and you live in Lower Lane County or in Douglas County in Roseburg. So you kind of look around and see what's available because you really don't want to move. Other graduate PTAs decide they want to move, and so they will move where the job is that they really want. Some of you may already have some pretty strong ideas where you will work, but I caution you for just wedding yourself or committing yourself to one position because market forces do change. And for example, one of my recent graduates really thought he was going to get this job in a skilled nursing facility, and it turns out that job is no longer available. So now he's having to go out there and look at the market and probably be employed at a home health, which is I think a real good fit for this particular graduate, but it's a shift from where he was putting his energy before. So it's time to dream. It's a time to think, this is where I think I could see myself working. I really want you to be focused on the PTA aspect of your career. If you have existing credentials, such as a personal trainer or massage therapist or work as a chiropractic assistant, I really want you to focus on the PTA career and your other skills secondary, because this is a PTA career track paper and not a career track paper to be a personal trainer or to work under another licensure. Certainly those other certifications or licenses can complement you and your work. Certainly somebody, for example, can be a massage therapist and work as an outpatient PTA and then be employed in the clinic to do massages as well. And that way supporting the clinic in both roles. But this paper is about working as a PTA, and that's where I want your focus to be. It's just you're in a 2-year program to be a PTA. So you have several articles here that I think are just a really strong articles. Some are a little older, some are quite new on different PTAs that are doing great work. I did include the video from the APTA that you saw week 1, just because I think it really kind of brings out some interesting career paths. Certainly is more PT dominant, but you could work in the same settings that the PTs are working. So I wanted to share that just to kind of get you motivated. If, for example, you want to work for the VA Center, Veterans Administration, I know a few of you are veterans, and that seems to me to be kind of a logical place to work, if that's an interest of yours. So there's links about different PTAs doing different great things, just to kind of take you out of the traditional mindset of what a PTA can and cannot do. To take you out of that mindset, well, a PTA just works 8 to 5 treating patients all day. Not necessarily true. There's many PTAs that become directors of rehab. There's PTAs that work in hospital administration, for example, and you'll see that in some of the PTA stories that are in links here. I really want you to look at the links, and to really have an open mind when you look at them, to try to just respect the fact that these are individuals recognized by the American Physical Therapy Association and have their stories published in a national publication that reaches all APTA members. So really approach this with an open mind. So your assignment is to go ahead, and these are some of the questions that you're going to be asked, and please go ahead and you can just list your answers simply by going ahead and just numbering them. So for example, here's a grading rubric. You can take this rubric and just 4 points are answered each of the 6 questions, for example. Here's a question, copy and paste. Where do you want to work? You can, in the answer, you need to address, where do you want to work, what specific population. You have examples up here, and you also have examples in the articles and other information. Do you plan to get additional certifications after your license? Some of you already have certifications or licenses, so it doesn't make any sense for you to get more necessarily, but maybe you do. And you need to cite one of the stories that really inspired you. And I would really strongly want you to link in more than one story, but you have to have at least one. But I think you're stronger if you and show stronger evidence that you read the articles if you post more than one. But I'm not going to split hairs on that. But it needs to be something in detail. Tell me why did that story inspire you, versus just giving a name. And then this is more of a simple question. Do you plan to get additional degrees? Do you plan to go to PT school? We have had more than one PTA go on to become a PT or enter PT programs or go into other doctoral programs. And then I have a link to a bachelor's degree that actually, with a 2-year degree, you can slide into and not have to take a lot of additional coursework, because all your PTA credits would count towards this bachelor's degree. And then there's links about the advanced clinical pathway that you'll see. And then finally, that last question, do you have interest in transitioning to become a PT? And then, spelling and citations. Certainly, you don't have to reference the article, but you need to, if you use Palgorulo or other source, you need to reference that. So I hope that's clear. If you reference this bachelor's degree at this university here, over at Oregon Tech, you need to reference that, because that is live website that is easily referenced. So have fun with this assignment. I also just wanted to share with you that the grading rubric for this assignment is also in Moodle under the career track paper, and then your submission will be in week 7 towards the bottom here next week. But no, I am going to extend. It'll live about right here, but I'm going to extend the due date until the following Tuesday, which is, believe it or not, the 19th at 8 p.m. Have questions? Moodle message me.